Good evening, everybody. This is another video, and it's in response to a message I received, and not in the comments. And I thank you. I'll get your name in a minute. Bear Cupster, something like that. Thank you for understanding, and thank you for taking the time out to listen to my video. Excuse my slurring of speech, but I took some sinus tablets. This time of the year is really bad on my sinuses. Once the cool weather really sets in, I'm okay. So if I sound kind of druggy or sleepy, that's what it is. I just taken some sinus medication, but I wanted to go back over some things that I'm seeing, or basically all the beefing thing back and forth. Um, and I'm not trying to defend or dispute any sector. Is that what you call it, sector? On YouTube, because everyone on YouTube has the right to feel or present how they perceive things to be on their channel. And so in essence, I'm not so quick to judge what you present, or I'm not so quick to, as you say, drag somebody or throw them under the bus because of their perceptions of what they see. And then again, of course, of what they hear. I definitely stand behind my synopsis on James Wilson, Jay Wilson, and as one of the somebody wrote in my inbox, I really, and I can't make anybody believe me or anything like that, but I really have no personal investments in Mr. Wilson. As with any other content creator, I don't have any beefs or anything like that with them. These are just comments of what I see or hear, or at least my perception thereof, and that's where that's coming from. But the only other thing I don't really understand is, well, I in a way I do. I understand the beefing aspect of all this, you know, going back and forth and going back and forth and uh, revealing lies and things of that nature. But the odd thing about all of that, because I do read comments, how people were getting upset or getting mad, because of this and that. But it would seem to me the more that I harp on, or the more that I present this particular person before the people, well, naturally the people, because of out of curiosity, they're going to go to that person, which of course I guess you all call clicks and views, which will increase. And even though you go over there to see what they're talking about, you find that they're talking about the person who in essence sent you over there, more to speak. Because once you mention their names, because that's how I got interested. Once you mention their names, curiosity in all of us will cause us to go to see who this individual is. And so I was letting my cousin look at some of the videos, and he was thinking, well, they do this for the point of raising money. I said, well, when you think about it, you really have to ask yourself who hates or who really dislike. I don't want to say hate, that's such a strong word. Who really dislikes who? I said, because once you look at it, one night I watched it, and what y'all said, be in the shadows, and every time this person said something negative, they got clicks and all that. But when you go to the next person, because if it's that person that was spoken of or against, then that person receives as just as well clicks and all of that. So if you look at it from that standpoint, it seems to be a win-win situation. Though I think at some point you cross the line, and you cross the line with people. And that's just me. Because again, like I said about Jay Wilson, I have no need to degrade him or anything like that. But I'm noticing a way to earn coin or earn your money in your chats or whatever that is, super chats. The dirtier the dirtier the story, the more you will receive, of course, but then people will go over to the person that's being accused of whatever, and they will receive, did that make sense? They'll receive the clicks and the likes as well. So they're actually, everybody's feeding off each other as far as beefing. And again, in my case, I just find it funny to a point, because if I'm beefing with someone or I have a beef with someone, um, I have to look at it as a place of trying to bring traffic first to my channel, then second to get a coin off of that. Um, and then it works for the both of us. Even though we say we don't like each other, it still works in our favor that we keep this going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Um, the only thing I have a problem with, like I said before, deciphering the truth. Um, because you don't get confused. Yes, you do. You get confused. Because, like I said before, everyone has receipts, for the most part, on everything that they're saying about somebody else. And so if everybody is lying, how do you decipher what is real or what is true? Does that make sense? Because everybody's doing it. I got receipts, and they'll show a video. I got receipts, and show the video, YouTube video thing on their phone and things of that nature. And you're left kind of boggled and discombobulated, because there's no, you're sitting here wondering, okay, well, they said you lied, and they showed this. Then the other person said, well, they lied because they had this, and they show receipts. Who's telling the truth? Is anybody telling the truth? Um, for me, I think it goes above and beyond, but that's me. That's me. For this to be YouTube, to go to the extent that many go to or go through for that coin. Um, a lot of people say you put things out there, so they attack those things that's out there. But you take it to the extreme in doing that. And my only concern or my only fear is that you'll get someone who's not rationally thinking about what you're saying, and their perception of what you're saying is evil to them. I'm not saying to me, to them. And you might come across somebody who's a friend of this person you don't like, or that person they don't like. And somewhere along the line, something's going to click with that individual. And you'll never know how much trouble that may cause you. Um, Again, the beefing thing, I'm learning that as I go, not to be one to have a beef, but I'm learning the maneuvering of the beefing and how that works, though negative in some aspects, positive in many others. Um, and it boggles my mind, but that's real, that's intelligence to me, to have that manipulative spirit to where you can do that and get paid in the process for doing that. So I one of the commentaries I wrote something to them, because they were going off about something, and then they sent me a message that I better make sure that my life is right with God. Well, it is. It is. And if yours was, just the content that comes out of your mouth would be kind of different. Again, I'm not saying don't beef or anything like that, but it's like you get to the point of where you want to tear down someone's life and reputation. To me, that's a line that's crossed, to destroy someone's life over a YouTube video, over just arguing back and forth on a YouTube video. I catch myself saying, I just don't see how you invest that much time in discrediting or mean mouthing or anything towards other content creators. I guess I'm saying that right. I don't have that. And when I say I don't have that issue, of course, money say, because you ain't got no subscribers. Well, that's good. I mean, that's okay. Um, I just think there's a better way of maneuvering some of this stuff. And I think there's a better way to convey it to your listeners or to the audience, or the YouTube audience, that wouldn't be so hurtful or so derogatory or so mean. I just believe there's a way that's better than what's been presented at this point, because it becomes like just all the negatives, the negatives, the negatives. And it almost makes you wish, if you listen to stuff long enough, and the negativity that comes around about it, from it, you'll find yourself disliking or hating a person that you don't even know, because that I don't want to say venom, but those words are tossed out there in the atmosphere. And of course, I'm understanding now that they say people be hiding in the shadows. So that means they're coming to your page and listening and taking that information and going to the next. And it's like this vicious cycle that everybody's taking information to and from everybody. But it's for the purpose of a click, a view, and some coins. And I don't have however where you get them. You know, I'm just asking, what standard are you using in order to receive the notoriety, the money, whatever you're looking for? What's the length that you'll go to get to that point? I saw a video earlier, and that question was on my mind too. It's like when I was listening to different people, various people, they would say, like a month ago, blah, 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 and now we're out. Or 2 weeks ago, we were getting together and we were close, now you're out. We throw away people so fast because if they don't do or agree to what you do or agree, they're nothing to you. But isn't it a platform where you can voice your opinion, however you want to voice it? Now, I understand the profanity, that's disrespectful, but at least be able to hear what the other ones are saying and then base your opinion upon that. Um, Again, like with Jay Wilson, I made a mistake as far as giving, but that was before I saw all the shenanigans and all the things that he used and all the things that he did. And it got to the point where it disturbed my spirit, and it just vexed me to watch him or even listen to him. And he's not only one, there's many um, that's doing that. And I don't see, somebody said earlier, if you were my ride and die, my boo, my heart, my this, my that, for a week, and then all of a sudden the next week, because you went to somebody else's, I guess, page and liked something or something, I'm not sure. Now you're my enemy number one. And then you tend to ask the question, what was I ever? I won't even say friend. Was I ever an associate of yours? To flip that quickly, does that make sense? To just do a roundabout just that fast after knowing somebody weeks, months, maybe years. Is it so important that you lose that over nothing? And then when the person said that, I thought, well, you know what? That makes sense. Because if I was all this before whatever happened, um, what changed? What made me now be this evil person that you can't stand and you don't like? Because I may have said something. Now, I do understand this. It's difficult to embrace someone who supposedly is your friend and someone you kind of ride or die with, and you see them on a channel that of somebody who doesn't like you, and they chime in and add coal to the fire or fuel to the fire. I understand, to me, the betrayal of that, and I understand that will make you angry, anybody angry, because in your mind you're thinking, well, this person is with me or my friend, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for that individual, and yet they, in essence, backstab you by going to somebody else, and then leaving little funny comments on chats with this person that you're no longer with, talking about the other individual. So I'm getting the concept of all of this, and I'm learning the concept of it all. And the one thing I'm finding out to be true during this process of learning YouTube and content creators and all of that, one thing comes to mind, and I think it's William Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. I'm really about truth. Um, I'm not going to say I have never lied. Yes, I have. I won't say that I haven't had my challenges. Yes, I have them even now. I take care of my disabled father, and he's very disabled. He's blind. He's unable to get out of the bed and all of that. And so he requires 24-hour, 7 days a week care. So I'm here to do that. Um, I'm not anybody you want to dock because there's nothing going on with me. And I don't have, when I do say this, I really, literally don't have anything to hide. But I wonder if we search ourselves It's about 30 people exposing maybe 2 or 3 people. After you've exposed them and they still have followers, likes, viewers, those cash things, super chats, then if the motive was to destroy or thwart them from receiving all of that, then I wouldn't have anything to say about that individual, because all I'm doing is I'm I can't help but say sowing seed and throwing something there to make them seem interesting. So when I go over there after somebody over here talked about them so bad, I'm listening to them and they're talking about you, but they're trying to make it seem as if you're the you're the coal, you're the fuel to the fire, and that's the reason why. Excuse me. I have that person has to come back and fight, 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 fight. I just believe in the saying: every battle, every war is not yours to fight, for the most part. Um, but I do understand that for the most part, the clicks and the views and the coin is extremely important, and not having a stable foundation of friends, so to speak. And then again, YouTube might not be a place where you desire to acquire friends, but just to acquire those things, like I said before, that you can get from YouTube and doing YouTube videos. Um, and I guess because it's new to me and I don't understand all of it. I understand the basic concept. I think the one thing I pride myself on in this area, even though when I'm talking along now, I basically think about all this stuff and roll it in my head, and I just meditate on it, not deeply. And then I go to the videos, and it's like, okay, that's what's happening. Okay, click over there. I bet you this, and that's exactly what's happening. So you wonder if everybody's in cahoots to a certain degree, because everybody's making money off everybody else. Even those that they say they hate, vice versa, they're still making money off of your content. You know, as I think somebody throw a dog a bone and he'll carry it. So a lot of this stuff is confusing. It really is. And I think in some cases I would need clarity without the beefing to help me to understand the process, because there is a process. Um, like I said, this guy attacked, well, I don't want to say attacked, he gave me this long speech after I guess he saw my video. And I understand people now, as far as on these YouTube streets, as you call it, people will take the narrative and they will flip it and flip it and flip it to make you seem like you said something you didn't say. And I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, I know what I said. It's already on the video, so there's no reason for me to come and rebuke, reprove, and all that based on how you felt when you read it. There's not one content creator that I have anything against. Again, some of them I think go too far, but then there are some I think who gives you information that can really help you or just enlighten you or open your eyes to certain things that you thought were never there. That's a positive to me. Um, but I just think we need to be careful on this beefing situation, and I guess you call it doxing, which I don't see. That's something too I don't worry about. Um, Anybody's doxing. Again, I'm not important enough to dox, and don't have the views to dox, and don't have the numbers to dox. It seems to me that when all of that starts rolling in, that's when turmoil and separation and revenge and envy, jealous is. And I'm not pointing out anybody. I'm just saying overall, this is what you see. Instead of just coming on here being what you're going to be, give content, give news, give something that will help. But I understand the beefing is what brings in your money, brings in your coin, as you would say. Um, but like I said, it's quite confusing. Everybody's lying on everybody. And from my understanding, for the most part, let me put that in there, allegedly, most part, people have receipts on those things that they say the other person is lying about. Uh, and some things you really don't have to have a receipt, just by noticing the video, listening to the video. If you have discernment, you can almost tell, okay, this is all a lie, or this there's not some truth to it, so there's got to be more to it. And I think that's where you become hooked. You know, they throw you out that bait on that fishing line, and as soon as they start, giving those little digs and dabs, and this is what's happening. Wait, I got to tell you this. You become hungry to a point to hear it, to see what is being said now. What new situation are they in now? Um, and so the person who's out there the water, they'll take the bait, bite it, and there you go. A beef can begin, or conversation can begin. But I just wonder sometimes. Um, yeah, I might not believe this, but I believe in unity. Well, my biggest thing is racial unity, um, of all things. So I'm very stern on that, very hard on that, because of what I saw growing up, um, in Mississippi, deep rooted South Mississippi, that's rooted in racism. So I understand more than what people think, and I think the only thing that really survived helped us, because my parents kept us away from that. Um, well, back when I was born, well, back in my time, in the city where we lived, right down the street, everything that could be there was there. Everything was black owned. The restaurants, the movie theaters, the clothing shops, all of that. So we would spend most of our time there. And even then, it never dawned upon me to ask why so many black people here, or why we separated. None of that. But you were so caught up in just enjoying the dinners and enjoying the company of people and walking in fellowshipping, if you want to say. So we didn't have an inclination of, of the divide. Since somebody was turning this into a racial thing because they think I'm white. No, I'm not white. Um, my great grandparents, they were white. Um, and then I have a grandmother who was white and Indian. And then, of course, I have my mom. She's Seminole Indian, which is really African American. So I'm made up of all those generations and of all those DNAs. And this is how I look. Um, so I don't think I get any more privilege than anyone else if I was living back during the days of slavery. If you remember, the darker skinned people, they had to work in the field. And somebody said, well, I'd rather be in the house. Well, when you're in the house, I guess it is cool, but you laying on your back with somebody's feet on your stomach for arthritis, to be cured from arthritis. So there you were laying on that floor for the most part of your day and evening, that cold, hard floor or hot, hard floor, because that's what they believed. So I just trying to learn, to just post videos of my thoughts. And I know they're not exciting or anything that will stir you up to get angry and get beefy with it. But I just think we need to be more aware that our discernment, that little voice in our head when it speaks, listen. And then I guess we can enjoy certain things, but some things that little voice will tell you, get away from that. Leave that alone, because you're not the type of individual. Or if you have the strength enough inside and you're strong enough, and what is it? Not insensitive, but if you're just a strong individual, where it won't phase you, then you can go over there and listen to what they're saying or how they're saying it. I just believe that this platform can be used as a tool in so many other ways, in so many ways that will bless even the content creator. All of us are not here looking for mess and all of that. And I think I was watching somebody, and I'm gonna have to lay down my sleeping, my allergy pills are kicking in. But I saw somebody doing a little rant, and they ranted and they ranted, and I'm thinking, wow, wow, wow. But then they went back, and that's what made me go visit, I won't say their name, this particular video. And they posed the question, if I was your ride and die and I was your go-to person, I was the person that would be there for you for anything and everything, and I'll stand by your side, how does that change in a week to where you want to almost destroy the person? I don't understand it. And to the brother who left the message, I'm very secure in my walk with God. Um, I don't play games in this particular area, and I don't use the name of the Lord in vain, or you know play like I'm speaking in tongues when it's not. I'm afraid of that because blaspheming against the Holy Ghost in my mind, that's making fun or mockery of that. Excuse me, it just scratch your throat. But I just believe that there's so much more to say. Does that make sense? In the world, another officer killed by a white policeman. There's just so much to say and so much to really break down. But the news is not what we want. It's not what people want. Um, it's not juicy enough. I don't see how not being juicy enough when a white man killed a black person again, who was in this case in the house, playing games with her kid. Well, she was babysitting, and then she was shot. Break that down. Give an explanation of that. How do you feel about something like that happening again? Not even a month before it's happening again. What does this say to you? That's what's happening, especially those people in Texas. I think it's open season for Negroes in Texas. Bottom line, it's you're getting shot. It's not self defense, and it's not because you're causing any problems. You got a warrant, but they're killing people who are living beautiful lives, minding their business, obeying the police system or the judicial system, obeying all that, trying to be a pure citizen of wherever they are, going to school, doing all this, and yet they still get killed. And there's another sad commentary into the way our world is. But I just want us to really think, if it's for the purpose of the money and the coin, don't destroy somebody's family or reputation in doing that. Some things that many of you have said, because I watched, they are true. Many of the things that have been thrown at people, they are true. But then you come back and somebody comes and throws something else at you, and then you say, well, yeah, that's true. But both of you denying it because you say they're lies, they're lies, they're lies. So what's the purpose of listening to the content when all you hear back and forth, lies, 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 lies? I got receipts, but that's a lie. And what does it do for me to come on here and join the ranks or join the masses of those who likes to keep the dirt going, keep the dirt going? Because I guarantee you, I can't. Well, you know what? I can't just speak for Jay Wilson. There are a lot of people who are ducking for coins, so to speak, to do anything that's possible to receive a coin. Um, I've watched some other videos and I'm thinking, does she realize what she's saying? Does he realize what he's saying? It's almost as if because some people talk and never listen, they contradict themselves. So it's just a matter of when you listen to commentaries and when you listen to certain people, there are certain key words that they'll say, and it bings in your head the purpose of that being done. And it's all to get people riled up to go to the other page and get money and all this other stuff. And in return, that person gets to call you names and all this kind of stuff. And uh, you're getting money. So I think there's some kind of silent agreement because it's going on too much over nothing for the most part. Um, when I say nothing, I mean nothing that's really changing your life or really blessing your life or anything like that. Um, but it's a way to get that quick dollar. You know what I'm saying? By beefing like that and beefing like that. Going into people's personal information is another totally whole story, which I would never do. Um, and thank God my brothers both work for the United States government. So, if you try to dox them or whatever, you know, in this case, you may find yourself being questioned or in jail because they are federal government officials in a very big capacity. So I just don't have time for all the digging and digging and digging to find dirt. I just want to be able to listen to you and listen to your views on something that's truly real or something that will affect the lives of those who are suffering, who's going through. You can make a 2 hour thing, a 1 hour thing on that alone. And it will awaken somebody's mind and spirit and say, I never thought of it that way. And there's a work that has to be done. And while I'm sitting here doing this on YouTube, before you say anything, the only reason I came here is at night and I have my free time during this time. So, but I wish we just would assert ourselves. We look so bad out here doing that. Even though most of the stuff that I've seen and that I've heard, I've definitely agreed with the exception of calling people's names out or calling them names, because I think you can have an intelligent conversation with these people without all the rhetoric. Does that make sense? With all the junk, you still can do that and have I don't want to say pride, but have a sense of accomplishment that you did that without stooping to anybody else's level, but being yourself. Another YouTuber always says, just be yourself. Just be you and go from there. Don't swing to the left or the right. And don't be pulled to the left from the right. Just do you and go from there. Don't try to be anybody that you're not. Because even I've seen that too. People who came on presenting themselves in one way, but when the true character of that person came out, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Don't do that. And don't allow people to tug at you so deeply that it would warrant you to do that. But I'm going to start making videos, and I'll have my thoughts written down tonight. This was just on my mind, and I just had to talk about it. Even though you talk about me slurring, yes, I'm on allergy medications and my blood pressure medication. And so combined, they just really almost wiped me out. But I wish I could get an understanding of, and I hate to say hatred, I wish I could get an understanding of the division and get an understanding of how that aspect of YouTube can be stopped and collabs on something that's actually going on in the real world, because there are things that are affecting us that will affect us, and many of us won't be ready because we're just on YouTube, and all of these things are passing us by that really has everything to do with our existence, our life, our survival as a race in this nation, on this country, in the universe. And I just think at some point a movement or something should start, where those issues can be talked about and brought to the light, because many of you have so many subscribers that will listen to it. You could use these moments as eye-opening moments to teach the people or enlighten the people on what's really going on in the world. I believe that. I believe that with my whole heart. And I believe there are some of you who are so gifted in the art of speech. Even in manipulations, you're very gifted. There are a lot of people you can help. Don't manipulate them. I'm not saying that, but you could be a beacon to somebody else. But I just think that it's a mindset that needs to change. And again, I can't say that fully, because if it works for you, and if that's what you desire, and that's what your platform is built upon, to receive the coins and the likes, then go for it. But don't lose your self-respect in the process. And be yourself in and during the process. Never waver or change your thoughts or anything that anyone else feels you should. Remain you. Be you. Speak you. And I just believe you have a better time on YouTube. Somebody's always going to dislike you. It's not the end of the world. Someone's always going to come against you. about what you said. Well, who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. You know how they are, and I've read them all. But I wish there was a common ground where all of this can stop to a point. Will stop, and people be more productive in giving their platform a positive, more positive information that could help us, help people, since most of them are black, help them to encourage themselves and better themselves. And somebody might say, that's boring. No, it's not boring. You're the person presenting it. You're the actor. You're the director. You're the producer. You can make it interesting. You can spend your creativity on it, or spend some time really reading on it and see, booms, the little bell goes off and you think, okay, that's what that is. That's what I'm saying. Um, if I do have a channel that grows, I don't know. I didn't come here for that initially because I've been here for many years. Love music videos. But it's just a matter of what it is you're really seeking here on this platform, and what is the ultimate goal that you want to accomplish by doing that. And does it really mean bashing and stepping on and cussing and killing with our mouth to get to that point to other people? Um, but anyway, I thank you for listening. It's just a random thought because all this is going on, and every time I click on YouTube, there's the beef, as the woman said in the Wendy's commercial. And it's like, I can't go through that 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of that. I just can't do it. But eventually, hopefully, I'll have content that makes sense or that will excite someone, and eventually they'll join, and I'll be happy for it. Um, I'm just starting out. I've been making videos, not that many, because I was testing the waters way back, and then I got so involved with actual work, church work, and then work and other stuff. I just didn't have the time to do all that. But, oh, that's what I was going to say. He can't be so bad to a point to where people are giving him, James Wilson, all this money in these chats, whatever. So, do you think people run to a lie, or run to comedy, run to mockery, especially after he has no respect for anyone that's in his, I guess you call them subs, or in his camp? Um, and I guess they will do whatever they will do. But I wonder if their eyes are open to what's really before them. Not the gagging aspect of it. Anything like roasting and all of that. That's innocent with all in itself. The thing is, when you're doing that, make it be more than just beefing, beefing, beefing. Her house ain't got no bricks. Her house is small. Her house is this. Look at the clothes, all that. And it's almost like, geez, so what? That's their style. That's what they like. So what? You know. But we'll try to take that. Look at them nails. What's wrong with them? And try to run a whole narrative and get something started. Um, and they may carry on for months over some nails. And I ask people, especially people who have some sense of intelligence, does that make any sense? No. No. Your content, I'm professional, content has to be content. And it has to be something that will make you think. In my case, make you think and make you see maybe there is a better way. Maybe there is something more if I let this go and approach it differently. Because at this point, YouTube is becoming a weight to not just me, a lot of people. A lot of people have said that to me when I guess it's DM'd me. I guess I'm saying it right. And I didn't think I had many who thought that way because I'm just starting to do videos. I had to do the one on James because I was so disgusted, and busted and angry that I had to address him and address the things that he's saying. But anyway, those are just random thoughts that was on my mind, and I promise you, the next time I will not have taken my sinus medication and my inhaler, which makes me very sleepy. As you can tell, but I'm not high. I'm just the bronchos and all this, my lungs, all that, all the air is fighting to get through my nose and my mouth. And so I'm having to deal with that. And then maybe again when my eyes are so red and I'm sleepy. So it's a process. But anyway, I thank you guys, whoever listen, who may not. Like the video, please, as I always hear people say, like the video and share, like any of them, and share them with other people. I don't know if that'll put me out into the jungle where the lions, cougars, tigers, leopards are there to attack me. What's that other? Hyenas. If they're already in the background, trying to set me up. There's not much you can set me up with, though. Like I said, my family has been through a lot, and I've gone through so much until people tell me now you're so mean and you won't let people in. It's not that I'm mean. I will not allow anyone inside me. It's because I don't want to be part of the venom that's going on now on these YouTube streets. It's not that important. Um, I mean, you're taking care of your father. My father is blind, very disabled. So there's basically nothing he can do for himself. So most of the time I'm taking care of him and making sure he's okay because I love my father. Um, and he needs someone here 24/7. So I know that I would take great care of him. Um, it was a difficult thing because I left here to go to Indianapolis and I lived there for a while. But then issues came with my father's health and my mom's. When I got back, I was with my mom just a few. She passed away. And then, of course, my father at the time had a stroke. And at the time, the stroke wasn't the real big issue because he was going to physical therapy, and that was helping him. The downfall came when he had broke his hip. Once you break your hip, you're elderly and you don't have, taking the nutrients to help build stronger bones. They're liable to break. So he broke his pelvis. Um, and he hasn't been the same since because of the things he needs to do, exercise and all. He just don't have it. And now his muscles have all weakened. And are now to a point, they're there, but they're just weakened. And there's no strength in him for him to sit up on the bed or get up and do all of that. So basically, I'm his nurse, doctor, nurse aide, dietitian, and then feeder. I feed him his dinner. So my plate is full. That's about the most exciting thing you'll hear about me outside of my normal challenges, and I may share that with you. At some point, I almost got killed, uh, and was laid up in a hospital in another state because they couldn't move me. I was there for 3 months, and then when they finally moved me here back home, I was in a coma and stayed in a coma for quite some time. But when I came out of it, you know, instead of receiving love or instead of receiving compassion, I was basically Bible beat up because I was told because of the way I was going, um, God had to stop it. And also that, you can't do this because God will take you away. And so they implanted that fear in me to the point to where I tried to say nothing, appear to do nothing, appear to be something that I wasn't. I just wanted God to get the glory out of my life, and however He saw fit to use me, then that's great. Shy as I am, but I thought that was great if He wants to. So those are just some of my random thoughts on this evening, and my prayer is, at some point the beefing stops and it gets back to the way it used to be, roasting, gagging, and just fun. You know what I'm saying? Because many of us use this outlet to smile or to have a laugh that we normally would not have because we're so tired and we're so busy with our fathers, well, with my father. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, whoever will listen. And hopefully I'll be back in maybe a few days because, like I said, I'm not used to this. I don't know how any of this works. I just know to get on here and record a video and just give you my feelings on particular things that's going on. I hope you have a beautiful night and God bless you. Bye bye.